Today we're going to be removing the intake manifold and changing some fuel hoses that are like 14 years old or something.
So yeah, I said that it was going to be my last video the other day, but there's a week till New Year's and everyone I know is working, so I'm bored as. So I may as well fix some stuff on the car. That way, once we're into the new year and I start doing the center diff, it's going to be pretty quick to be able to take it to the track.
Right, so I'm going to have to pull a lot of the stuff off the top of the engine for this. Main reason I'm doing it is because there's a pretty bad fuel smell now on startup pretty much every time. I suspect it's underneath the manifold. The fuel lines get pretty deteriorated, so I mean, people recommend to change them. I just haven't got around to doing it, so yeah, that's what I'm going to be doing first today, is pulling that off, going out, grabbing some new fuel hose, and yeah, we'll go from there. Fuel hose, a bit over 1 meter of it, so I'm sure that's probably all we'll need, hopefully. And I got some coolant as well for later.
injector play of the turbo. It's actually really good. Having a look over the engine, it does need a little bit of love. It's got a few little leaks here and there. What I might do is I might actually pull it out, and that way we'll be able to do the water pump and do some resealing, do the head studs and that sort of thing easily. But yeah, one thing that I've found, which was really cool, is that the previous owner has done the TGV delete, where in here tumbler generator valves, they're generally here, but this has actually been bored out, which is awesome. So that means that's something else I don't have to do, which is sick. These are the fuel lines that I'm going to be replacing. You can see there's sort of some shit pouring out of them because of clearly they're leaking everywhere, probably brittle as. Going to take off the wiring loom and yeah, give that a little bit of a refresh. Yeah.
Alright, so it's day 2. I pulled apart the injectors to put in the fuel lines, and I decided that I would order in some O-rings for the injectors just because, yeah, you want to revamp them. So they're on the way. I'm not going to be able to put it back together today, but I've decided what I'll do is I'll just go grab some new wrinkle red paint, paint the manifold again so it's nice and clean. Clean everything up that I can, get some new oil hoses for the breather lines. I kind of mismatched a whole bunch of them and had a sort of jumbled mess going on, so I want to clean that up a bit. Disconnected the manifold from the TGV valves, and so what I'm going to do is I'm going to get some upper engine cleaner, clean out the intake before I do anything, then I'll mask it up and I'll repaint it in like just like a red sort of high heat paint. That will be similar to what it was, but it will just be new. It seems to be flaking off pretty seriously from, yeah, just age, so. So I cleaned off all the parts that I had pulled off. I didn't show that just because it'd be boring to watch. But yeah, basically I ordered some injector O-rings that were coming from Carmel, Australia, just to reseal the injectors. I don't want to put them back without having the new seals and all that sort of thing, just because if it starts leaking, it's just going to basically do the same thing as it was doing before, and we don't want it surging and all that sort of stuff. So yeah, while I wait for them to come, I wait for all the parts to dry, and yeah, I'm gonna I'll probably wait till pulling the engine out a bit later, just because, yeah, it's running fine. It's, well, fingers crossed. But, yeah, eventually I'll do head studs, new head gasket. I'm going to do the water pump sooner rather than later. Also check on the condition of the timing belt. But in the last year I've put on a Gates timing belt, which is a Kevlar belt. So that should be fine with all new bearings and everything. So that should be fine for the moment. Yeah, gave the top of the engine a bit of a clean down. And yeah, that's basically what's going to be happening for this episode. So hope you enjoyed it, and I'll see you next time with a whole bunch of other stuff to do.